you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Living the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. We're going to conquer the middle of the week and explore total wellness in order to reach for our goals and live your dream life. This week, we've been exploring a question that sounds incredibly simple, but it gets deeper every time we ask it. How's the water? On Mindset Monday, we talked about the invisible environment surrounding us and how that environment quietly shapes our habits, beliefs, health, and eventually our identity. Then on Training Tuesday, we brought that idea into fitness. We talked about how your environment acts like an unseen coach. It can add friction to movement or make showing up feel almost automatic. Today, I want to take this conversation one level deeper because your environment does more than influence your choices. Your environment becomes biological information. The light entering your eyes, the noise reaching your eardrums, the messages appearing on your phone, the emotional energy in the room, the people sitting beside you, the amount of safety or uncertainty you feel. Your nervous system is always receiving information. Your nervous system is always interpreting and always asking, am I safe here? Do I need to be on alert? Can I recover? Is it time to perform? Is it safe to let my guard down? Your nervous system does not exist in isolation. Your nervous system lives somewhere, and where it lives matters. One of my favorite things that I get to do at Sweat Circuit is teach a Yin Yoga deep stretch restorative class. Before that class begins, I intentionally change the environment of the entire studio. I dim the lights down. I get the room quieter. I light some electric candles. I guess I don't light them. I turn on some electric candles. I use calming music. I slow down the pace. And I change the way that I speak. Members walk into the same physical studio where we normally lift heavy weights, push sleds, challenge ourselves, high fives. But suddenly the room feels completely different. Same building, same floor, same people, different signals. During a regular workout, the environment says, let's go, be alert, create energy, produce force. During Yin, the environment says, you're safe. You can slow down. You don't have to perform right now. You can breathe. And something fascinating happens. People begin speaking more quietly without even being asked. Their movements slow down. Their faces soften. Their breathing changes. Sometimes after class, someone will say, I didn't even realize how much I needed that. They may think that they came in for a deeper stretch, but what they often needed was an environment that finally gave their nervous system permission to settle. And that's the power of place. We often talk about stress as though it exists only inside our minds. I'm stressed. I need to manage my thoughts. I need to calm myself down. And yes, internal practices matter. Breathing matters, meditation matters, mindset and being present matters. But stress is also influenced by what continually surrounds us in our environment. Bright lights, traffic, unpredictable noise, clutter, crowds, deadlines, conflict, notifications, news, social tension, the feeling that someone may need something from us at any moment. Each signal may appear small by itself, but your nervous system has to process all of it. Your body is continually taking in information and deciding how much energy, attention, and protection the current environment requires. That is why wellness can not only be about what you do for 10 minutes in the morning, but it also has to include the conditions surrounding you throughout the rest of your day. Let's begin with light. Light is not only something that allows you to see. It is information for all of your biological clocks in every single one of your cells. Bright outdoor light during the daytime helps to tell your body that the day has begun. And darkness or dimmer light in the evening helps to communicate the active portion of the day is ending. But modern life has dramatically changed the light environment. We can live under bright artificial light long after sunset. We can hold glowing screens inches from our face at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. We can keep our homes completely illuminated as though the day never ended. And then we wonder why our bodies don't immediately become sleepy when we finally decide that it's bedtime. Your biology does not understand your schedule because you wrote it on a calendar. It responds to signals. And light is one of the strongest signals that it receives. You can tell yourself, I need to sleep. But if your entire environment is still shouting, it's daytime, stay alert, your nervous system and your circadian system are receiving conflicting instructions. Now, this doesn't mean you have to sit in total darkness as soon as the sun goes down. You can take this to an extreme. It just means that recognizing that your evening environment participates in your sleep long before you hop into bed. And the same is true for sound. We adapt to noise so quickly. That we may stop consciously even noticing it. Talk to someone who moved from rural Kansas to downtown in the city, New York. Traffic, television, construction, loud conversation, televisions, music, phones, alerts, something running in the background at almost every moment. But consciously ignoring a sound does not necessarily mean your body has stopped processing it. Sound can communicate safety, a familiar voice, gentle music, the ocean waves, birds singing in the morning, laughter. But sound can also communicate urgency, a blaring horn, an argument, an alarm, a sudden interruption, an unpredictable noise in the middle of the night. You may live in a noisy environment for so long that it simply becomes your water. But imagine trying to recover while someone unpredictably taps you on the shoulder throughout the entire day. Even if each interruption lasts only a second, your attention must repeatedly turn toward it, and that repeated redirection, it has a cost. Sometimes wellness begins by asking, when does my environment ever become quiet enough for my system to stop listening for the next interruption? When does my environment ever become quiet enough for my system to stop listening for the next interruption? And then we have our phones. Our phones are extraordinary tools. Man, are they incredible. 20 years ago, if you could have told me what our phones are to us today, it seems like we're living in the time of the Jetsons. Our phones help us work, learn, communicate, navigate, create, stay connected. But they also create a portable environment of constant potential interruption. Even when the phone isn't making noise, even when it's in our pocket, part of our attention may still just be waiting for that next text. Did I get an email? Did anyone respond to that message I sent? What happened while I was away? Did anyone comment or like on my post? We reach for the phone in tiny spaces that once contained nothing. Waiting in line, walking to our car, sitting at a red light, using the bathroom, lying in bed, waiting for a friend. The moment the external world becomes quiet, what do? We add input. And eventually, stillness can start to feel really, really uncomfortable. Not because there's anything wrong with stillness, but because our nervous system has become accustomed to this constant stimulation. Is the solution to declare technology evil? No, I don't think so. I think the solution is to remember that tools should serve us. Fire is a tool. A hammer is a tool. A knife is a tool. All of these things can be used for good or not good. We should not automatically surrender every quiet moment to our devices. We should not automatically surrender every quiet moment we have to them. One of the strongest lines from this week is, your environment is always coaching you. Your digital environment coaches your attention. Every notification says, hey, look here. Every headline says that this is urgent and important. Every social media post invites some kind of emotional reaction. Is it interest? Is it comparison? Anger? Desire? Fear? Is it amusement? None of any of those are automatically bad. But when your mind receives an endless stream of unrelated emotional inputs, it never gets enough time to completely settle into one experience. You could be laughing at a dog video and then one post later reading about a tragedy. And then you could be comparing your body to an influencer and then answering a work email. Then looking at someone's vacation, all within 60 seconds. Your nervous system is expected to change emotional channels over and over and over again when you do this. And this is just a strange environment for a human being to inhabit that all day long. So part of wellness is learning to curate not only what you consume, but how often you allow the outside world to interrupt the inside world. And then there's the social environment that we go through. This may be one of the most powerful environments of all. Your nervous system responds differently depending on who is in the room. Think about how your body feels around someone that you completely trust. Your shoulders may relax, Your breathing becomes deeper and easier. You don't have to monitor every single word. You can laugh. You can be quiet. You can be yourself. Now, think about how your body feels around someone unpredictable, critical, angry, or unsafe. You may become more careful, more guarded. Your muscles may tighten up without you even noticing. You rehearse the words in your head before speaking. You scan their face for signs of how they're reacting to what's going on. That is not only psychological. That is your nervous system adapting to this social environment. Relationships become biology. Connection can provide a sense of safety, and isolation can become its own form of stress. And being surrounded by people does not always protect us from loneliness. You can be in a crowded room and still feel completely alone. You can also sit quietly with one trusted person and feel so deeply connected. Wellness is not only the absence of conflict. It is having places and relationships where your body does not feel required to remain in defensive mode. This gives us a different way to understand boundaries. Boundaries are not only social rules. They are part of nervous system care. Turning off work notifications at a certain hour is a boundary. Choosing not to participate in every single argument, that's a boundary. Leaving a conversation that has become abusive is a boundary. Protecting time to eat without answering messages is a boundary. Saying, hey, you know what? I can help you tomorrow, but I'm not able to do that tonight. That's a boundary. And boundaries tell your nervous system, not every demand has unlimited access to me. Without boundaries, the environment can begin teaching your body that you must remain available and alert at all times. But no system can remain permanently activated without eventually paying a price. I want to make something really clear here. The goal is not to eliminate stress. That's why one of the 4 pillars of total wellness is stress management, not eliminating stress. Stress is a part of life. Training creates stress. Learning creates stress. Growth requires stress. Deadlines can create focus. Competition can bring out incredible performance. A healthy nervous system is not one that remains permanently calm. A healthy nervous system can move. It can activate when action is required, and then gradually return toward recovery when the demand passes. The problem is not that the wave rises. The problem is never being given an opportunity to come back down. We are designed for activation and recovery. We are designed for effort and then rest, challenge and then safety. We are designed for expansion and then contraction. The nervous system needs rhythm. But many modern environments are very good at doing one thing, activating us, and very poor at helping us complete the cycle. This is why I often say you cannot spend the entire day telling your nervous system that everything is urgent and then expect it to become peaceful the moment your head touches the pillow. Think about the final hour before you go to bed. What does your environment look like? Are the lights bright? Are you answering work emails? Are you watching something emotionally intense? Are notifications still arriving? Are you arguing with someone online in the chat, in the comments? Are you scrolling past dozens of people's lives that make you feel worse about yours? Are you eating while standing and moving around? Are you planning tomorrow? And then suddenly you put the phone down, close your eyes, and say, okay, body, it's time to sleep now. You know what? Maybe your body isn't broken. Maybe it simply hasn't received a clear signal that the threat, demand, or activity of the day has ended. Recovery often requires some sort of transition, a bridge between performance and rest. Now, that bridge can be incredibly simple: changing the lighting and dimming the lights, changing the noise and putting on some calming music, maybe stepping outside if it's sunset to see the sun setting, getting some fresh air, maybe taking a warm shower, maybe a nice, easy stroll around the block with your pet. Write tomorrow's tasks down so you don't keep carrying them mentally. Maybe that is the bridge. Writing everything down that needs to be done tomorrow, put it down. Today is done. Put your phone in the next room, away from you. Breathe slowly for just a couple minutes. Sit quietly with someone that you love. The purpose of a transition ritual isn't to perform a perfect wellness routine. It's to communicate to your brain, to every cell in your body, that part of the day is over. You are allowed to release that part of the day. You do not have to carry every problem into the next room. That's why our sleep routine at my house, we have this routine where we watch something that makes us laugh. We watch something that makes us feel small and connected with a bigger thing like the universe. And then we do a yin yoga stretch and a yoga nidra meditation. One domino falls, the other falls. As all of this is happening with the lights low and the phone away, while all of this is happening, you're sending signals. Oh, I remember this. The last 3 years we've done this routine. What comes next? Sleep. Nature can also become part of this transition. I feel this personally every time I go to the beach. The ocean doesn't solve any of my problems, but a walk at Torrey Pines, it's something special. Now, it doesn't erase my responsibilities, but it does change the environment surrounding those problems. I get so myopically focused on all the tiny, minute little details that are not going right in life. And then I walk out, the horizon opens up, the air feels different, the sound becomes rhythmic, the phone stays in my pocket, my perspective changes. Sometimes we try to think our way out of a stress state while remaining in the exact environment that helped us to create it. A change of environment does not fix everything, but it can give the mind and the body a different set of signals. Now, you don't need an ocean. An ocean is perfect for me. Maybe a park, maybe a tree-lined street, a backyard, anywhere there is sunlight, fresh air, just a quiet place outside. Even a few minutes can remind you that your current problems, they are not the entirety of your world. Now, I recognize that not everyone can redesign their entire environment. You may live near traffic. You may work in a loud building. You may have children. You might have roommates. You might have caregiving responsibilities. Maybe you work the night shift schedule. Maybe you have a small home or a demanding job. This episode is not asking you to create some perfectly silent wellness sanctuary where nothing difficult ever happens. That's just not realistic. And honestly, it wouldn't prepare us very well for life. The goal is not complete control, which I have to tell myself every day. The goal is not complete control. The goal is to identify where you have some influence. Maybe you can't control the traffic outside, but maybe you can use a fan or earplugs or steady background sound at night. Maybe you download the Brain FM app that I love, that I've used for years and years and years, and you put on calming creativity music or focus or meditation music. Maybe you can't eliminate work stress, but you can stop bringing work notifications into your bed. Maybe your home's busy. Not much you can do about it. But you can create one chair in one corner of your house, or one 10-minute window associated with quiet somewhere. Maybe you can't change every relationship, but you can spend more time with one person around whom you feel safe and understood. Small signals matter because they happen repeatedly. So here's your Wellness Wednesday practice. I want you to do a quick nervous system environment audit. Walk through an ordinary day and ask yourself, what are all the signals of urgency that I experience? What signals urgency? And then on a separate list, what signals safety? All the things that signal urgency throughout your day, and then all the things that signal safety. Your signals of urgency might include a phone beside your bed, notifications constantly appearing day and night, bright light late at night, background noise, news, clutter that you continually notice but forget about in your house, a workspace that never closes, a person you feel that you have to constantly manage, a schedule with no transition time. And then identify your signals of safety. Those could be things like natural light in the morning, a quiet walk, calming music, a clean, decluttered room, a supportive friend or family member, a familiar routine, a warm shower, a dark bedroom, time breathing slowly, time outside, maybe a pet cuddling lying next to you, a space where no one needs anything from you. You don't need to eliminate every signal of urgency. That's not life. That's not real. But you can intentionally add more moments that tell your body you are safe enough to come down in this moment. Your challenge is simple. Remove one signal of urgency and add one signal of safety. Once you've made your list, remove one signal of urgency for the next day and add one signal of safety. Maybe you turn off one category of notifications. Maybe you dim your lights during the final hour of your evening. Maybe you stop watching the news in bed. Maybe you take a 10-minute walk outside after you eat or after work. Maybe you eat one meal without a screen. Maybe you call someone who helps you feel more grounded. Or maybe you close the laptop and you physically put it out of sight when you're ready to start coming down. Maybe you sit in silence for just 5 minutes before filling the space with something else. One less signal of urgency and one more signal of safety. If you do that swap consistently and you pay attention to what changes, you may notice an entirely new environment. If you do this, I want to know. I want to hear what you notice. Your nervous system is always listening. It listens to light. It listens to sound, people, the place you're in. It listens to technology, touch, predictability or uncertainty. It is continually learning from the water around you. So when you feel stressed, exhausted, distracted, or unable to settle, don't only ask, what is wrong with me? Also ask, what has my environment been asking my body to become? Alert, guarded, distracted? Available, reactive? Or calm, connected, present, safe? You are not weak because your surroundings affect you. That is what a nervous system is designed to do. Your nervous system, it adapts. The work is to become more intentional about what you are asking it to adapt to. Dream Team, you cannot control every environment that you enter, but you can create transitions. You can protect small, safe spaces. You can curate some of your inputs. You can choose certain relationships, and you can change the lighting, lower the volume, close the screen, and open the door. Step outside, take a breath, touch grass. You can give your nervous system a place where it no longer has to stand guard. So once again, I'll leave you with the question of the week. How's the water? What is your nervous system swimming in every day? And what is one small way you can make that water feel a little safer, a little quieter, and a little more supportive of the healthy life that you're trying to build? Until next time, Dream Team, protect your peace. Pay attention to your signals. Take care of the environment inside you and the environment surrounding you. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wellness Wednesday episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Please share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If this episode inspired you, share it with a friend who could benefit from what we talked about today. To support this podcast and help it grow, please subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on and leave a 5-star review, telling others how this podcast has benefited you. Leave a comment on this episode, letting us know how you're incorporating what you're learning. This is really a non-cost way to help get this important wellness content into more people's ears. Take a screenshot and post it on your social media stories. And tag me at livingthedream_podcast or at CoachDamian_SD. And let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. We want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that would help your Living the Dream team that we can discuss in future episodes. I will be right here with you working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.